Welcome back to Night Mind, friends. It's now late spring. Been plenty enough time for you to enjoy the flowers, the warmth, the greenery, the rabbits hopping and burrowing in your backyard just out of sight, until it's too late and the creatures underground they formed a pact with explode into the world above, wreaking havoc on your neighborhood. We're not too late to enjoy some journeys together this season, I think. And for cabin fever dreams, I've got quite the Dreamcore project for you. First covered in a previous video over on NM Live, Sins of the Past is a project with so much dedication to detail and creativity that I knew it needed a refined touch. A more in-depth, sharply focused night in the office. It's also an experience that is, as of this moment, nearly complete. You may end up watching this with the total series done and ready for you. Either way, you know exactly what I'm going to say, don't you? The playlist to Sins of the Past is available in the video description, and I highly encourage watching it yourself before we embark on tonight's study. This allows the series to be experienced in its full nature, and it directly supports the creator, Forky. For the moments where Sins of the Past hits hardest, you'll want to feel the emotion in its full context and without interruption of narrative flow. There are currently 9 videos available to view. Again, might be more when you're watching this, but it's a visual feast. When you're done watching, come back here and we'll travel back in time. All set? Very good. You know what goes really great with the Dreamcore web series though? Our favorite returning sponsor, Manta Sleep. As the warm season heats up, Manta Sleep is here to help you beat the light with a great new promo period. While better bed rest is always possible with Manta Sleep's light-blocking masks, from May 26th to June 8th of this year, you can get 15% off spending $99 and 20% off orders of $149 and up. This discount will automatically be applied at checkout, and the first 500 customers shopping during the sale will also receive the Founder's Favorite Sleep Accessory Kit absolutely free. I've been using a Manta Sleep mask for years to block out all the little rays of light from the sides of windows, TV screens, all the disruptive elements in an otherwise dark room. And their Manta Pro, perfect for side sleepers, is perfect for me. Achieve deeper rest with the Manta Pro too, or do so in luxury with the stylish Manta Silk. Perhaps you need a soothing voice in your ears to lull you to slumber, in which case, the Manta Sound, with its built-in adjustable Bluetooth speakers, is the go-to choice. The mindfulness-focused among you will also find it the perfect fit for assistance during meditation. Entirely adjustable to your need with removable eye cups, Manta Sleep masks are soft and machine-washable material throughout, and with so many options to choose, from eye cooling to a weighted mask, there's a match for everyone. Immerse yourself in a story from the realm of dreams now, and get 10% off your order with my coupon code NM. This link is also in the video description and pinned comment, and again, if you're shopping during May 26th to June 8th, that 10% can go much higher. Beat the light now with Manta Sleep, and you truly will sleep tight. Thanks to Manta Sleep for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get dreamy. Sins of the Past Episode 1, Interference, contains this statement in the video description. Nonsensical clips crudely put together in a short span of time can only be described as an interference. It's February 20th, 1977. We're told, large portions of the following footage have been tampered with or deleted entirely. Key context is missing, and because of this, we won't fully understand what is being shown. Not even 20 seconds into the first video, and already we have room to question what this could mean as blurred video previews play.
I just want to find out about my daughter's dreams, and if it's not you controlling them, then who the hell is it?
You should know her very well. Why don't we take a walk together? Just you and I. Down Charlotte's Hall of Dreams.
This footage of an infrared-esque image of an infant and a hand reaching out to it is quite the setup. If you activate closed captions, they read, Bill Settle and King, as the speaker's 20 seconds in. Bill expresses his desire to see what his daughter is dreaming. As he points to her brain, he questions who is controlling her dreams, getting a response from King, and off we go into Charlotte's Hall of Dreams. A pretty unsettling loading screen follows of a pixelized character with long black hair and a bleeding head wound, leading into something much worse. A darker image of a different character, far more injured and begging for her life. Moving forward, Charlotte's true dreamscape begins, marked with the closed captions. The viewer looks around the scene and questions the layout in front of them. These visuals are a blast from the past, even through the blocky pixels making up the footage. It's clear we're in for a visual treat. The viewer is prompted to check their pockets by an unknown entity. King, maybe? The inventory contains a flashlight, pretty useful for the journey ahead. The spectator uses it to search the dark and we pick up the sound of birds chirping. A red box appears. Signal identified. Transporting. A brief loading screen with an image of the first girl we met loads in before bringing us to a new section of the arcade. After a moment, the player asks, "Was that Tia?" Whoever Tia is has clearly left a lasting impression on the dreamer, Charlotte, as she continues, "I can't handle dreams like this. I need to wake up." Red text appears on screen we can't make out. Charlotte responds to someone, the red text writer maybe, saying it eats away at them, knowing they could have prevented all of this. No ability yet to gauge what they could have prevented unless we go by the girl begging for her life just a moment ago. This is too much for Charlotte, but the red text urges her to continue. She finds an item on the floor and speaks. "Isn't this my township card? What is this doing here?" The camera turns and a piece of the arcade sinks below the floor, replaced with a dark red void. Charlotte goes to check her ID in the inventory, and suddenly the screen is taken over by black and white fuzz. Red text reappears, saying, "Your father will wake up soon, so I'll leave you with one last gift." Footage rolls of a little girl telling the dreamer that they're going to die too. But it's okay, because they'll be reborn, and she will never be alone again because she will keep holding on to us forever. Is she talking to Charlotte or Bill? That moment of messaging about her father waking up insinuates King, the guide, knows this is going to be a shared dream. We've received a red rose, and along with it, a message from Bill. "Tia, I'm sorry. Your dad is coming soon." Strange circumstances here, but definitely surrounding a tragedy. At a point labeled Interference in the captions, we learn King is gone, and something has taken its place. Scratchy background noise helps create a sense of dread. The new entity references Bill's previous question about who's controlling his daughter's dreams. Its response is far from helpful. "Do you get it now, Bill? This is a tale brought on by your own sins. I better not see you cry now." Bill's sins? Or someone else's? Remember, Bill is just watching these dreams. He's not the one who dreamed them. A sequence follows on the TV of images clipping in and out to the birthday song, alluding to events we don't understand yet, until Tia Settle makes an appearance talking about her sister, indicated by the captions. She lays in a pool of blood resembling an angel wing.
"Oh, Mr. Lewis. Nap. Well, it's just... Charlotte and I had an argument. She kept trying to get on me about how I got hurt and how she could help, and everything she usually says. She doesn't even sugarcoat that she thinks I'm weak and that I can't take care of myself. I mean, she's literally beat people up for me. All for a prick like me. Everything you all think I worked for, every little play I've acted for, it wasn't even my work, it was all Charlotte. Yeah, I did the acting, and yeah, I went up there on stage, but she's the one that set me up with everything. She helped me memorize my lines. She helped me move around on stage when I couldn't. Do you know how horrible I feel when I trip on stage without her? How horrible it is to know that I can't do anything without her help? Sorry. You didn't need to hear all that.
Interesting monologue. It's understood that Charlotte is Tia's protective sister, and Tia feels she can't do anything without Charlotte, her autonomy constantly hindered. The next scene brings further information from the unknown entity. The date is now February 1st, 1977. We're told, "You can't bring us back, so why do you go on? You suffered enough. You have a choice." Despite being given the opportunity to stop, the character in question continues dreaming, ending Interference. The first episode of Sins of the Past really puts the dream in Dreamcore. Disorienting, emotionally intense, and composed with dedication to visual variety. What exactly is going on here? Let's take a moment to unpack what we've seen so far. The video opens with Bill and his infant daughter questioning a mysterious entity known as King about his daughter's dreams and who's controlling them. We're pulled into memories of her dreams, and it feels like something, or someone, is actively shaping her visions, confirming the interference. But how can an infant possibly dream with such depth and detail? We're shown fully realized locations like the arcade and vivid fragments of Charlotte and Tia's memories. All of this clearly stems from a shared tragedy between Tia and her overprotective and confrontational sister Charlotte. From the very beginning, we're told we're inside Charlotte's Hall of Dreams. But that raises a chilling question. If these are Charlotte Settle's dreams, how are they being channeled through Bill's infant daughter? During the transition to the second area in the arcade, Charlotte believes that she sees Tia and says that she can't handle a dream like this again. Something terrible has happened at the arcade, and Charlotte has been having nightmares ever since. During the rose scene, the message, "Your father will wake up soon, so I'll leave you with one last gift," confirms Bill as the father. "You're gonna die too," Tia says. "It's okay. We'll be reborn together." From what we can gather, Tia has passed on, leaving behind a ripple of trauma that deeply affects her sister Charlotte and their father Bill. Now it seems Charlotte is receiving dreams from Tia, remnants of her memories and emotions. But as the title suggests, there's interference. It becomes clear that something is reaching out to Bill within these dreams, and maybe was messing with Charlotte. Another character emerges, who seems to be disrupting King's original purpose in guiding Bill through the dreamscape. Suddenly, the dream isn't just a message. It's a battleground. There are layers upon layers here. Tia's lingering presence, Charlotte's emotional burden, Bill's confusion, King's guidance, and the taunting entity interfering with it all. The question now isn't just what's happening, but why, and who's in control. We're only one episode in, and already there's so much to unpack, but quite a lot to love and desire more engagement with. The story invites empathy, sparks curiosity, and leaves us with just enough questions to invest in the story kickoff and experiential promise. The plot may be murky, layered in dream logic and abstraction, but we're not without clues or aesthetic appreciation. The real challenge lies in piecing them together for the audience and the creator. Hopefully, the next episode, Township, can offer some clarity while increasing intrigue. After all, it's the card Charlotte picks up in her dream. That can't be a coincidence. In the description, under the declaration of this being an intermission, we learn, most of this site is completely broken. This felt like a waste of time. Well, let's see about that. On the login screen, two profiles can be seen, Agent Man and Agent Millie. It looks as if we're out of the dream world and watching a screen recording of Agent Millie navigating the computer. They open up a notepad file and catch a message inside, reflected in the captions. Township has little to do with the disappearances in Windsor. It is unlikely that there is a larger conspiracy at play when it comes to this company. Please direct all efforts towards frequent visitors of their locations. Thank you. As we open up the browser, Agent Millie navigates to the Township main page. It's active, with several listings for its locations, events, and activities, and the child on screen looks awfully similar to the art style that we've seen in the previous dream. Ruthie. That's a name we haven't heard yet. As we continue through the site, there is a bit of humor here, like this smoking page. But as we get to the contact page, we find our next lead. There's something truly special to be held about communication in the modern day. The entire world made it easier and easier for us to contact you. Whether you have a complaint about one of our locations or you just want to send a hello our way, this is the page for you. Agent Millie starts a chat with an employee. They didn't expect it to still be up and running. The two go back and forth, exchanging inside information about the company. The self-proclaimed sort of employee states that they don't expect Township to be open for more than a year or two due to an issue that happened over in Windsor. Whatever happened here dealt a severe blow to the company. When the employee asks Millie if they're with the police, they respond, yes. Replying back, the employee says that Township has never been open with their intentions and had nothing to do with their disappearances. But it's worth looking into. Disappearances. This is the first mention of anything like this. When Agent Millie asks for clarity, the employee stops responding. We move to a new page, Player of the Week. A brief description sits at the top of the screen, right above what looks like a save profile. Car, number 1, and clips sit in the box. The user clicks the link and we're brought to the directory, bringing us What is an Umbra, Persons of Interest, and Documents. The site describes Umbras as entities obsessed with the idea of evolution and physical perfection. They tend to focus on one object or even concepts after their human death. Umbras are often tied to an object valuable to their person and close to their place of death. A family relic, a gift from a loved one. When upgrading, they utilize these objects to the best of their ability. If they died around wood, their forms or stages may take on a wood or tree-like appearance. If they died in snow, snow-like, and so forth. This is all in the attempts to construct a perfect humanoid form. But are there other ways of upgrading we don't know about? Upgrading is an interesting term here. Could this be what Tia is referencing about being reborn? Umbras are spirits who come into existence after their human death and seek out physical perfection through an evolutionary track. Leads us to wonder if the rose in the first dream is an Umbra of Tia. It's an interesting paranormal idea brought into the story, immediately raising questions. The chat box opens up and the employee remarks that they are unfamiliar with the page Millie is on. They respond that they'll reach out if they need further help, then go back to try the Persons of Interest page, hitting a login request. Agent Millie reaches out to the employee asking for login information, but it's told the website doesn't have profiles that need login. The employee steps away, and after a moment provides the user with info. Charlotte's Little Thing at hotmail.com, and the password Dream Machine. Dream Machine, huh, Charlotte? Interesting. Millie is told while entering that logins were for things on the website that were planned but never implemented, like online games. An unsettling atmosphere accompanies the page. 3 profiles are listed. You, Charlotte, your sister Tia, and a third box later revealed to be your love, Ruthie. The profile pictures are anything but comforting. Charlotte's avatar is marked by a haunting expression, her eyes filled with dread, the top half of her face swallowed by a creeping shadow. But Tia's image is worse, and reminiscent of the pixel art we've seen, with thin red lines streaking down her pale face like blood. The text above tells us we've been granted access to this list of special persons only because we are one of them. It thinks we are anyway. Don't take this for granted, it warns, and ominously provides the detail. Think of this as an exchange of information. The information gathered, while limited, comes from various sources. Your dreams and people who are familiar with the 3 individuals on this page. As of right now, this is all the info we are given. If this site is analyzing dreams, maybe it really is a dream machine, as the password alludes to. Agent Millie continues the message to the employee. The website thinks the current user is Charlotte, who was presumed dead towards the end of the horrible stream of events. Yet another mystery lands at our feet. A stream of events, not just Tia's death. Both sisters have passed on, and it sounds like there were others. After clicking the link associated with Charlotte's name, we're given a dark summary of how Charlotte is perceived by the site. Tall, loud, annoying, and a bully. A girl with little patience who frequents the arcade when she's not caring for her little sister. Despite her harsh nature, she finds comfort in helping her friends and family achieve what she believes to be their purpose. Perhaps it's because of her own lack of one. Imagine being Charlotte and reading this summary about yourself. Seeing as she is just a child, she isn't only a bully to be mean. During instances like these, there's a reason a child may be lashing out. Something creates a conflict in life that makes her act up in a need for power, authority. We've seen a reason in protecting and supporting Tia, but this sounds like there's more to it. Your love, Ruthie. Charlotte's love. Perhaps her issues stem from liking girls. Her aggression towards others may be defensive, originating from being in the closet. Her sister is already a victim of bullying. The last thing Charlotte would want is to be ridiculed, not when she is supposed to be protecting Tia. Checking Tia's description, we find it to be vastly different from her sister's. Tia was a rather on-the-whim person. Not much stayed consistent in her life other than her dream of being an actress, a dream that Charlotte helped build up before Tia's passing. Based on her dreams, her killer lured her in with promises of working towards her acting dreams without Charlotte's help. Tia was most likely insecure in her ability to do things without Charlotte's help, which was made worse by her visual impairment. She was bullied and generally disregarded in her class. These vivid descriptions paint a clear picture of these sisters' relationship. Charlotte as Tia's protector. She wants to ensure that Tia has as good a life as possible and puts her on a pedestal, so much so that she lost sight of Tia's own independence. Charlotte focused too much of her attention on Tia and has lost herself in the process. As for Tia, her visual impairment caused her to stumble around in a world all too foreign for her. She has dreams and aspirations, but as a disabled child, her world is vastly different from others her age, especially in the 70s. With this description, the story gains more of a solid form. Tia was murdered at the arcade and Charlotte was used as a tool by the killer to lure in Tia and take advantage of her feelings against Charlotte's overprotective nature. Next, we look over Ruthie's page, and boy does it get worse. Ruthie appears to have the more traumatic past of the friend group. Not much is known about what happened to her, but we do know that her brother, King, a character name we've come across, killed their two parents before being shot in the head by Ruthie. After their deaths, Ruthie gained a sizable inheritance but has barely touched it, only ever using the money on odd clothing combinations. Quiet, patient, and easy to push around, Ruthie is nothing like her partner. There's no denying it now, this site is archiving dreams from multiple children, all seemingly tied to a string of horrific events. Among them are Charlotte and her younger sister Tia. Charlotte appears to be accessing her murdered sister's dreams, and not long after, Charlotte would meet the same fate. An investigator is now combing through the website run by the company collecting these dream fragments, while Bill, the girl's father, is experiencing them through his youngest daughter. But that raises the central mystery. Why are these dreams being channeled through her? Is it a form of reincarnation, as hinted on the Umbra page, or something more sinister? We've also heard from King, Ruthie's brother, who guides Bill through parts of the dreamscape in the previous video. His role seems crucial, but with each new layer of involvement, it becomes harder to tell who is leading and who is being led. Also strange to have a murderer as the guiding figure. Agent Millie goes back to Tia's page and clicks her picture, bringing us a video of her bloody body. Upon clicking the body, a second video plays. Two snowbirds cross two unfortunate fates. Intertwined they now lie, their flesh mingling. You did this, Charlotte, and you will fix it. The investigator asks if Township ever made games centered around town residents. The employee tells us this was a pretty common thing. When the investigator asks what we just watched, we get no response. They delete Township, swap some folders over, and shut down the PC. We're then met with a sudden scare of a face appearing on screen before saying, someone probably saw whatever that was too. A webcam recording message pops up before a stern warning. Don't try to investigate this again. The video ends with a cryptic message. Will a scared rabbit clinging to a world ever have a good conclusion? The snowbird that landed its wings so gracefully on the wolf is gone. The bear that offered such love for this wolf was ultimately led to the same fate as the poor snowbird, and yet the young rabbit still clings, finding itself belonging nowhere else, until even the wolf, the ruiner of all, finds itself a new home for the young rabbit. And eventually the wolf lets its unbreakable guard down, allowing itself to find solace in the rabbit as well. Certainly a piece relating animals to characters, though we may not have all the clues or names yet for attribution. This video may have sparked a sense of deja vu for some. An old blurry Windows computer screen, hidden GeoCities pages, digging up private login details. If it feels like an ARG hunt, that's because it closely mirrors one. Usually, we're the ones doing the investigative work. But here, we watch as a character, Agent Millie, takes on that familiar process as a narrative device. It's a clever flip of the format, using a well-worn ARG mechanic to drive the story forward. For those who participated in ARGs before, this structure feels instantly recognizable, and that's part of the magic. The creators aren't just playing with Dreamcore, they're showing a deep understanding of the genre and the expectations of their audience. In a world where the ground is constantly shifting beneath us, grounding certain elements in familiar formats can be incredibly effective. It also speaks to the ability of what one can do versus what one can't in executing a vision. You may not be able to conduct a whole site for people to explore, but if you're a damn good mock-up creator and an image editor, and an excellent video editor, ideas like Township are very much open to you. What's even more impressive is how clearly thought out this entire project appears. So much of the plot feels meticulously planned, like the pieces have been in place long before the first episode dropped. The writing was done in advance, which I always encourage. It's just going to take a few more installments before we fully understand the picture they're painting. The description for episode 3, Clarity, reads, sometimes clarity after an interference can be a blessing. Other times, it feels like a sack full of info being slammed against your head, over and over and over again. This video brings yet another artistic change to the series, surpassing our already impressed expectations. Tia begins the video by talking directly to whoever is watching. It's saddening to see this little girl thinks we don't care about her and would rather learn about that day. All we can do is sit and watch, as Forky gives us the most stunning visual approach yet. A call of action sets the stage, a representation of Tia's kitchen, looking exactly like a retro-style video game. Charlotte's sprite is dropped in and the scene continues. It starts off as a normal morning with Charlotte trying to get Tia out of bed before suddenly transitioning into an unsettling space. Red brick walls surround the characters. 3 dark, shadowy avatars laugh and make fun of Tia while she lays on the ground after slamming into the wall. The scene changes, and we're in a black, liminal space. The camera moves, and suddenly our perspective is in one. In a welcome change of pace, Tia has a very real human reaction as the camera falls before stating, "My world, my rules." Arguably the darkest scene we've witnessed thus far. As Tia tries to go home, the blonde child stops her. The boy, Kurt, mentions that the girl is being petty. Petty about what? We don't know. When we hear Tia's cries, our heart breaks. She's begging for her assailant to stop. Tia wants to see Charlotte. She doesn't know what she's done to deserve this. We're back in the woods watching Tia get dragged away before the screen cuts. The top left text reads November 16th, with the year obscured. We're in another character's perspective. The visuals are different and there's a stark contrast in feeling with what just happened a moment ago. Call Ruthie. Must be Charlotte's perspective.
Yes,
Hey, Ruthie.
Charlotte? Why'd you call? It's so early.
Yeah, so, did Tia stop by your place last night? We got into a bit of an argument, and she just stormed off. I'm really worried here, Ruthie. I mean, with her inability to see and all.
Tia? No, she hasn't come here. I haven't seen her in a while. Did you try calling Jay?
No, she wouldn't be with him. She doesn't exactly like him all that much. She just tolerates him at best. I just can't think of anybody else to call. She doesn't really have any friends outside of us, you know?
That's true. Maybe she just made a friend? Maybe she's just having a sleepover?
With the argument we had? Hell no.
Did you tell your parents?
Yeah, they were out having a date night. Dad was acting really out of it recently, and Mom wanted to do something nice for him. But now they're out looking for her.
I'm sure she'll turn up eventually today. Try and relax.
It's the day after Charlotte and Tia's big argument and Tia hasn't come home. Mom and Dad are aware Tia is missing and out looking for her, and this also happens to be the first time we find out that Mom is in the picture at this point. The voice acting and contrasting use of art styles is done in a way to show a perspective shift and keep us on edge as the video continues. February 6, 1976 appears before the video alters and starts to crash. We see Harmony's room, a character we've yet to meet. The teddy bear from the previous video lies at her feet as she hangs from the ceiling. The text is cut off, but we can read enough of the message. Harmony, the mother of Charlotte and Tia, has taken her life after the passing of her youngest daughter. Charlotte is blamed for being the one to have let Tia and Nina die. Whatever Harmony saw at the arcade led her to this point. What did she see? Who is Nina? The video fades to black.
This is Joseph.
You didn't think I would let it be that boring, did you? Let the questioning begin.
Cut the shit. You don't give a fuck about how I feel. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And I don't have to tell you jack shit. Should a cop really be talking like this? And you don't know what you're talking about. I didn't kill anyone, so bite me. The only thing I will tell you is a little bit about what we argued about. Tia had a rough day of school that day. Some kids got a few hits on her. She didn't tell me who. Said something about me always doing shit for her, not letting her be independent. After that, she stormed off and I didn't see her again.
Interesting opening. An interrogation recording interrupted and transformed by Nina. Charlotte is at the police station being questioned as a primary suspect. This must have been right after they found Tia. Despite her vulgar attitude towards the police, she tells them about the argument and what led up to Tia going missing. She was getting bullied that day and argued with Charlotte that she didn't let her have her own independence. Tia stormed off and was never seen again. As blood covers the screen, the text reads, "In the same room my father killed you, Tia." Someone is stabbing the screen as this occurs. Maybe this is how Tia and the other children met their unfortunate end. Act 2. A heart monitor beeps in the background. Insomnia. Rest. The sound cuts out and a girl is standing in front of a TV screen that spells out the word perspective shift. We're then presented a scene titled Harmony's Judgment. A disfigured avatar crosses the screen. "I told you before to not continue. Well, I'll show you something nice." Does this mean we're still in the perspective of Agent Millie? Or Bill? Harmony and Lewis. Mr. Lewis is the man Tia saw after her argument with Charlotte. What follows is an exchange between Tia and Lewis Eden at the arcade in the format of a video game. Lewis notices Tia unaccompanied and asks if she's doing alright. She reveals to him that she and Charlotte had a fight. He invites her to continue this conversation in the back room. "Isn't that where Nina died?" Tia asks. She's not the first child to have been killed in Windsor. The entity guiding us speeds things up and we're met with a shot of Tia and the question, "Will you do as promised?" presented to Lewis Eden. Yes turns green, and as Lewis speaks, we watch Tia's body turn bloody, it striking in a similar fashion to the end of the police interrogation sequence moments before.
I truly cannot do this anymore. Why can't somebody else deal with all of this? What does it have to show me?
Is this Charlotte speaking? We're given the teddy bear at the end of all this. A bear and a rose. What else will we be given? And what do they represent? If we consider what we know about the Umbras, the bear certainly fits. Sitting right at the feet of Harmony, it had to be one of her daughter's toys. But what about the rose? We can't say for certain yet, not without knowing more about what happened to Tia. The story is beginning to take on a more defined shape. We now know that Nina was the first child killed at the arcade, followed by Tia. Harmony's life ended by her own choice, and then Charlotte died tragically. At the center of all this is Lewis Eden, our apparent killer, but his motives remain unclear. What promise is he trying to fulfill? Then there's the question of Township. Why is a game being made about these horrific events? Is it a twisted memorial, or is it meant to help us uncover the truth of what really happened? How do the Umbras factor into everything? Are they echoes of the children, reincarnations, or something far more abstract? As we continue watching, it's also unclear whose perspective we're meant to embody. Are we seeing this through the eyes of the private investigator, or are we still following Bill as he stumbles deeper into this dream wrap conspiracy? Either way, one thing is certain, we still have much to learn. Episode 4, Beginnings, opens in heartbreak.
Louis, can't you stop pulling me now? I don't want to go wherever we're going. I haven't felt my legs in a while now. It is cold after all. Can't we stop by my house to get some sweatpants? And a coat? Why do you keep whispering to yourself, Louis? Can't you hear me? I don't want to go. Please drop me already. I need to go say bye to Charlotte.
Words can't express the sadness and horror in Tia's final moments. This goes far beyond my expectations of scene conveyance or projects with this kind of narrative. A dying girl, dragged through the woods by her killer, pleading for some kind of comfort, granting us access to all her final thoughts. We come next to a grave with a rotting corpse inside. Could this be Nina?
You promised me that we'd live forever. Together. Now, if you really wanted to do that, just give up on that stupid thought of yours.
We would live together forever. Who is speaking here, and who are they talking to? We move to September 14th, 1975. Captions indicate we're at a birthday party with Jay, Ruthie, Charlotte, and Nina, the birthday girl. A game of truth or dare goes sour as Nina dares Charlotte to admit if she likes Ruthie in the special way. Charlotte immediately denies this and retaliates by daring Nina to lock herself in the back room for 30 minutes in the dark. The screen goes black. This is the arcade, and we know what happens in the back room. We won't be shown though, according to the character on screen, who instead offers something else. We're also warned that Charlotte is to blame for what we're about to see not making sense. It's now December 26, 1976, and a conveyor belt brings an avatar down a path with multiple characters speaking to them, most likely a stand-in for Charlotte. Not much of what they say makes any sense, as we were warned, but as we get to the end, we're met with a revelation.
Who are you?
Jesus, creepy little asshole.
To call me that sounds like a reflection of your own character.
Whoa! Holy fuck! Can you hear me? Where's the microphone on this thing?
Here? Yes. I hear all that goes on within this arcade. Children screaming, adults drinking. But enough of that. Enough about me. What is your name?
This is so fucking cool! Holy shit! My name's Charlotte, big man. What's your name?
Charlotte? It is a lovely name. My name, it was King, I suppose. My parents named me that as the one who would conquer my weaknesses, and theirs, as they put it.
King? You've got a cool name, too. So, you've got coded parents or something?
Code? Not quite. I struggle to find a place to begin explaining quite what I am. You have asked many questions, and I believe it is my turn. Do you perhaps know of Ruthie? She may hide her last name and dodge from questions.
Oh yeah, Ruthie. She's like my best friend ever. Why? You know her? Jeez Louise. Really accounted for everything.
Ruthie with a friend. That is wonderful. You've brought me good news, and that should keep me out for the time I'm stuck in here.
Who's got you stuck down here, big man? Is there a quest line I gotta fulfill?
Ruthie hasn't told you a thing, has she? About what happened to her family? Or anything else? Explaining it would be, well, tiresome. Rather, I will walk you through what happened that day.
We don't need to go through the next segment in exact detail. King is Ruthie's brother, and we were told earlier how he murdered their parents before being put down by Ruthie. In his afterlife state, he knows all that goes on in the game, and Charlotte does assume this is a game, and he's a character. And there is more. About 14 minutes more, and nearly a half hour of video beyond that, available right now. Unless, of course, you're watching when this project is finished, in which case there'd be more than that. Thing is, I'm not giving you the rest in this video, because this is one of those occasions when I genuinely do want to pat you on the back with a little push. Go on, watch the rest of Sins of the Past yourself. Put the captions on. You'll get it and experience the ride in full impact. The work Forky has done here is more than worth your views, and there's even a merch shop they have linked in the video descriptions and pinned comments. Oh wait, no. That's literally more lore you can get invested in right now actually, learning more about the events and the characters. Sins of the Past is an incredibly stylistic and inventive project. It's so much more than Dreamcore conveying a nightmare. This was such an engaging experience when we went through it on stream that it was only right to let the videos run at certain points uninterrupted. The narrative construction and conveyance is that powerful. I knew I needed to make a main video too, if only to get you started on viewing, because this is just so strong an experience. I can't think of many at all who have engaged with all these approaches in one project. 2D, 3D, old game appearance, website mockups, pixel work, traditional sketches and drawing, photo, video. This is taking creative license and buying an overflowing shopping cart worth of media tools. How do you tell a murder story from the 70s with supernatural touches? Forky shows you quite simply. However you want, and do it with gusto, passion, and dedicated execution. This is one of the most cabin fever dreams type of projects to ever fit in the season. Subscribe to Sins of the Past, hit the playlist in my video description and pinned comment, go to the video beginnings and pick up from 620 in the timeline, then watch through all the episodes after. Have yourself a truly surreal murder mystery trip. And you can subscribe here to Nightmind for more projects like Sins of the Past, as well as all the office visits to come spent on other adventures in the unfiction field. For more constant coverage, there's also Nightmind Live, where I first explored Sins of the Past and got out all my initial reactions along with the viewers, who had an equally excited ride. Just check the live tab for any archive streams. The videos tab is where direct uploads go of edited streams that make them more compact, cleaned up for pacing, and have the stylistic care of my editor Moon. If you're on Twitch, follow Nick_Nocturne for that version of the live experience. That's all for tonight, everyone. Thanks to Forky for making Sins of the Past. Thanks to Matt to Sleep for sponsoring this video. Thanks to all of you for watching. And thanks to my supporters on Patreon, who empower not just Nightmind, but the Nightmind Index for new, undiscovered, and emerging unfiction projects. Your support also helps me support my editor Moon, who composed the foundation script for this video and the visual build. Thanks for joining me in the dark again this evening. Once more, I'm Nick Nocturne, and like a dark dream you can't get enough of, you'll be seeing me again real soon. Until next time, sleep tight.